think will happen to her now?
Well, I'd like to see her work on a farm where she can relate with all the animals and the pets and the dogs and the cows and the pigs, because she can relate to animals far more than she does with people. I was not able to have any connection with her, make any eye contact. And here's the thing. It's not just me or three of us. There were over 100 employees over the 19 years that walk away with this sickened feeling, about working there. As much as I loved my job as a booker and producer, I was almost relieved when I got fired, because it was like I want to take a shower. It was like a whole new dawn. So I don't feel that she has the trust anymore of the viewers.
Ellen DeGeneres getting sued by her own producers for $100 million isn't just a headline. It's an open invite for a comedy roast wrapped in legal drama. Enter Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld. Two guys with more punchlines than Ellen has pastel cardigans. With Ellen's squeaky clean image swirling the PR drain, Rogan and Gutfeld are tag-teaming the scandal like it's
the Ellen situation.
Yeah.
People found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a bitch. And they were like, whoa,
yeah.
Can't believe it. And she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, she's a piece of shit. And he was like, she's a mom.
Once praised as daytime TV's fairy godmother of kindness, Ellen's now doing the PR equivalent of a perp walk. The producers who once danced beside her are now waltzing into court with lawsuits instead of applause. And in true Hollywood style, Rogan and Gutfeld have turned her legal meltdown into late-night comedy gold.
On camera, she laughed while she badgered her staff. And so all good things must end. And also the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yes, the 83-year-old entertainer just announced that the upcoming 19th season of her show will be its last. Apparently, she created a workplace more toxic than an Amazon warehouse in Chernobyl. Countless allegations surfaced last summer that the show's work environment was rife with harassment and discrimination. Following those charges, Ellen's ratings dropped faster than Kevin Spacey's pants at a boy band pool party.
Rogan, never one to skip a sharp jab, mocks Hollywood fragility, calling it softer than tofu at a wellness retreat. Gutfeld can't help but revel in the irony. A show built on be kind vibes, allegedly fueled by backstage meltdowns, passive-aggressive tantrums, and enough staff walkouts to look like a union flash mob. The Ellen on TV? America's fun ant. The Ellen in these lawsuits? More like the boss from your worst nightmare.
DeGeneres, bails for the UK. All right, I'm going to go to you first, Kat, because this is I think you understand this story. So Ellen and her wife, Portia, have left their millionaire haven of Montecito for England. Now, they're saying they'll never come back in the wake of Trump's win. Do you think that's the reason why she's leaving?
Absolutely.
Her fall from grace wasn't a slip. It was a triple backflip off a cliff into lawsuit canyon. If daytime TV had a blooper reel, this would be the grand finale. Jazz hands, subpoenas, and a confetti cannon of career collapse.
It's like a beautiful name, Isis.
Ellen's rough.
Ellen is like an old.
But it's a rough one now.
It's a rough one now because she was running Abu Ghraib in the back of her show. That's a rough one. She's out there dancing with Kristen Bell, and in the back, there's people that are getting up on the rack like this.
It's so weird when you see, like, a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that's people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced.
Together, Rogan and Gutfeld peel back the sparkly curtain like two kids busting a...
Told the Today Show, home of Matt Lauer, that the bad press actually had nothing to do with her decision. Right, and the Titanic didn't hit an iceberg. It chose to sink.
If it was why I was quitting, I would have not come back this year. I really did think about not coming back because it did, it was devastating. I am a kind person. I am a person who likes to make people happy.
No, the real reason, she says, is it was just too easy. Telling the Hollywood Reporter, quote, when you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged. And as great as this show is, and as fun as it is, it's just not a challenge anymore. Well, if that's true, here's an idea. When your viewership is down 43%, why not consider that The challenge.
Gutfeld dubs it the daytime Hunger Games. Choreographed clapping, silent sobbing in dressing rooms, and enough chaos to power a Bravo reunion. Rogan jokes the set probably ran on lavender-scented suppression and fake enthusiasm. Forget dancing guests. The real show was backstage.
Have they made progress with the strike?
They're picketing right now, so I think it's the early stages. I would think it might take a little bit with this one.
When someone crosses the writer strike, that's some dirty shit. They cross the picket line.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody doing that yet.
I think Ellen did. I had a buddy of mine who was writing on Ellen. Everybody kind of knows now what she's really all about. And that's another one of those. Like, I'm so nice and I'm so sweet. Being behind the scenes.
As producers sue for enough cash to buy their own network, Rogan compares Ellen's downfall to a bad ayahuasca trip. The high of applause, the hallucination of goodwill, then the purge. Lawsuits, exposés, and public betrayal. Gutfeld says Ellen's show was basically an escape room, except only the crew wanted out.
Stephen Paddock, and do not ask me for sources, but Stephen Paddock.
Who's that?
He was the guy that shot up the Vegas concert. That was a very tragic thing. Listen to this. The only guy that saw Stephen Paddock alive, his name is Jesus Campos. He was a guard at Mandalay Bay. He got interviewed nowhere else. You know where he got interviewed in the beginning? Ellen.
Really?
Weird. And then they went on, if you could find that clip, they went on with a weird like diagram of how it happened, and Ellen's like showing the people how it happened. Not like an emotional, like, how are you feeling? How are you holding up? It was a weird diagram of like, and then he went to the left and to the right. It was very strange.
Gutfeld laughs that the show didn't implode. It deflated slowly, like a glitter balloon with a tiny leak of denial. Now, with a $100 million tab and a bruised brand, Rogan and Gutfeld have delivered Ellen's Hollywood eulogy. Punchlines instead of flowers. Greg jokes the on-set mugs probably said be kind.
And Ellen got canceled for real a few years ago from just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a single comment she said or something she did, just lots of people saying that working for her was a living nightmare and that she's a jerk. And I think that's probably why she wants to leave, because she hasn't really been able to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how everybody loved Ellen? They're like, Ellen, we love you. Ellen's here, yay. And then that all went away. So she probably has been thinking of a reason to leave, and now she thinks that this is the reason to try to make it look like some sort of, look how afraid I am. I feel how you feel because I'm, you know, of Trump.
Yeah, it was just the excuse. She is, Emily, I watched her comedy special. It was like a huge pity party. It was about how she was lamenting how her reputation has suffered. She's essentially as popular as a pit bull with monkeypox.
Greg calls the courtroom drama the sitcom finale nobody asked for. Jazz hands, subpoenas, and a jury that's watched every viral breakdown. Rogan compares the whole thing to a North Korean variety hour. Forced smiles, clapping, and the constant fear of vanishing mid-interview.
A million times for like, they're gonna find the thing if you don't go away. You gotta have a good run, and then when you have a good run, you step back and you go, okay, I'm still gonna do my thing, but like, I'm not. I mean, there's only a few jobs in entertainment, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of the cancel culture shit is probably these motherfuckers want those jobs.
Ooh.
They're like, how long is this bitch gonna be dancing? I can dance with Hillary Clinton. I could do the Charleston with Henry Kissinger, or whatever the fuck she does out there.
The Charleston, is that what it is?
She goes out there to do the Charleston. She's got war criminals. Her and Bush are jumping around. I mean,
That's right, she was buddies with Bush. That was like
she's
one of the
a
first
CIA agent.
Greg imagines an underground bunker where staff did breath work beside cardboard cutouts of Oprah. Rogan pitches a rebrand. Wellness guru, healing crystals, maybe a podcast called Beneath the Smile. And for trust, Gutfeld says, start by...
We're out of here. By the way, Walter.
I think we could let the illegal aliens stay if we get enough of Hollywood to self-deport.
Yes. I will take 1,000.
You know? Exactly.
I'll take 1,000 Venezuelan migrants for one share.
Exactly. If you can get one Hollywood star to leave, you get to stay. Otherwise, it's out.
You know what, though? It's funny. I just want to bring this up to you. You can comment or not.
Yeah.
So she left a celebrity base to go to London, and she's already ensconced with other celebrities. So she's basically still in the same bubble.
She's not going back to London. She's going to Oxfordshire. And as the only person on this set who attended Oxford University.
No, way to drop that.
It's true. I can tell you that there is nothing high British Oxford society loves more than a failed and despised American talk show host.
By now, it's not even about the money, it's about the legacy. Rogan calls this less a cancellation, more an exorcism. The illusion that smiles equal sincerity obliterated. Gutfeld says Ellen's empire was never really about kindness. It was about control, glitter wrapped with perfect lighting. The red flags were always there. Awkward interviews, tense laughter, and a smile that now feels like a mask.
People that are like that all the time, it doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a bitch, right? You're allowed to be a bitch. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life. And it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they
Dogs
have like
around them.
Yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that.
Ellen DeGeneres getting sued by her own producers for $100 million isn't just a headline. It's an open invite for a comedy roast wrapped in legal drama. Enter Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld. Two guys with more punchlines than Ellen has pastel cardigans. With Ellen's squeaky clean image swirling the PR drain, Rogan and Gutfeld are tag-teaming the scandal like it's fight night at a yoga retreat.
But she's putting this on Trump. Do you think that she's going to be just everybody's going to love her in England?
Especially the jihadis who love the lesbians so much. They're going to love her there. I think she's fleeing for way more than her anger over Trump.
If Trump is truly responsible for Ellen's exodus, shouldn't that go down as his greatest achievement in the last 8? I mean, he should get the Nobel Prize.
He's literally going to have a who's who of left. I mean, the entire 80s music catalog is gone. You got Springsteen, Cher, Madonna. I just don't know why they keep showing pictures of Aaron Rodgers with blonde hair.
Greg jokes about that bunker again. Breathwork, Oprah cutouts, crystals. Rogan teases beneath the smile one more time. And Gutfeld lands a final jab. When your empire caves under fake kindness, even late-night jokers start preaching like prophets.